The first thing I want to talk about is the ruling of marriage. Is marriage compulsory, or what is the story with it? Brothers and sisters, getting married has 5 cases and 5 rulings. 5. The first case, it's compulsory. You have to. The second case, it's recommended. You don't have to, but better. The third case, it's neither recommended nor disliked. It's neutral. You want to do it, do it. You don't want to, that's fine. The fourth case is it's disliked, recommended not to get married. And the fifth case, it's forbidden to get married. So what are these cases? These scholars, a lot of people don't know this. The cases have been already, this is a past dealt with issue in the books of fiqh and jurisprudence. The marriage is compulsory when you have the means, the financial, physical and mental capacity to get married, and you have a high testosterone level or a temptation level or a lustful level that you fear you're going to fall into haram. You're going to fall into what we call fornication, zina. You're going to go out with a girl and do things, or the other way around. What do I mean by the other way around? A sister. So if you have the financial means and you're ready, you're mature enough, mentally enough, physically enough, financially enough, and you fear that you're going to fall into haram, then it becomes compulsory to get married. Or you have already close to falling into haram, or you're on the steps of falling to haram, and you know yourself that if you don't get married, you don't have a partner soon to have halal intimacy with them, then it becomes compulsory for that person to get married. Number 2 is recommended, and that is when you do have the means, there's nothing stopping you, you have the financial means, you have the ability, but your temptations, you don't fear upon yourself. You have control over yourself. You're not falling into haram and you're not in the steps of haram. So you're not in that case. You have good control over yourself. It's recommended to get married. The neutral way is when your finances are okay and your temptations are okay, but your finances are not too high and your temptations are not too high, but they're not too low, imbalanced. Then for this type of a person, and usually this neutral way is more for older people that really just want a marriage for companionship and some intimacy, but not too much. These people, it's neutral. Everyone knows themselves. The disliked one is when a person does not have enough finances, but can get by day to day, can get by minimum, and their temptations are so low that they know themselves, they fear that they won't be able to satisfy a woman. So in this case, it becomes disliked, but they're not very sure of themselves, it's quite low. And the haram stage is when they are unable to provide for a family, that if they were to get married, they know that they're going to cause oppression. They're going to victimize that lady that they're going to get married. So obviously because the man is responsible for financial provision and protection of the wife, therefore he is unable to provide for her. If he gets married to her, he's going to oppress her, and their temptations are low. So these people, it's haram for them to get married, they should fast. Now some people, they might mix between. They might say, my finances are low, if I get married I might harm her, but my temptations are so high. What do we do in these situations? We say getting married to her, not getting married is better. Because oppression and zulm is worse. Some scholars said, if you have support, get married. Or find another way of waiting. Because this is in the Quran. Allah says, whoever does not find the means to protect themselves from falling into... So whoever does not have the means to get married, فَلْيَسْتَعْفِفْ. Control yourself, hold yourself, find some other means. The Prophet ﷺ said, fast if it helps you, until you are able to get married. Because zulm, oppression, is one of the major sins. Even higher than a person committing a minor sin or has a fear of falling into temptations. Zulm of a person is worse. So it's better if you can to wait. So brothers and sisters, what you need to understand is that there are these 5 cases. Marriage is not always compulsory, not always recommended. Sometimes it's actually disliked, sometimes very neutral, sometimes it's haram. Especially it's haram if a person has no drive whatsoever and they're not going to be able to fulfill the wife's need who they marry. Let's say someone who is in the disliked stage, disliked. Let's say they just want to get married to someone for companionship, but they don't really want to do much more than that. This person has to tell that person they're going to get married to that this is what they're like. So you might be asking, are there men that way? Are there women that way? Yeah. There are people who are born with hormonal imbalances. And there are those types. There are men who are a bit more effeminate and women who are a bit more masculine. And this is genetically correct. Even in Islam, we know this. So, in these are the 5 cases. I hope, inshallah, I'll just leave it at that because that's not the main topic. But inshallah, if you want to research more, there's heaps of that, inshallah, and all the schools of thought. You can look it up, inshallah, from your reputable sources, Islam Web, Islam Q&A, for example, and many other reputable websites.